What's up, YouTube? This is Glenn with Reddog Motorsports, and today is my Flex, Rocks, and Rollovers wildcard application video. I'm gonna see if I can do 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that, giving you a walk around of my buggy behind me. Maybe explain a little bit about my background in wheeling and what I think may make me a better pick than some of these other qualified people to be in the big show. So this rig right here, probably back when I started it 10 years ago. Oh look, there goes an armadillo running across my yard. Only in Florida. Somebody get their flip phone out. But at any rate, when I started this rig 10 years ago, it was probably one of the, would have been cream of the crop kind of rig. Nowadays, it's just your run-of-the-mill trail bouncer. I pull up in the parking lot with it, and there's, dime a dozen, which is good. It means that when you're out there wheeling, there's lots of people that can go and challenge you, go places you can't go. Lots of qualified drivers getting into things that make it fun, make it interesting. That being said, let's start over here in the driver's compartment. I got full hydro steering. I do run a cutting brake setup. I've got twin stick on my 205s, and I run a doubler. Automatic transmission. All of that is behind a 6.0 LS. Got a big mother cam in it. Stock truck intake. Does have a 92 millimeter Phytech in front of that. I did flip the intake, so my air intake's on the inside of the cab. But other than that, the engine really doesn't have anything special to it. I run a shorty header system, and maybe the only thing that's different than a lot of other people's is I run two power steering pumps, one for my steering and one for my Hydro Boost brakes. It just gives me a little redundancy. Behind the 6.0 is a built reverse manual valve body 4L80. Runs a stage 3 system, 2300 stall on the torque converter. Box of Rocks doubler behind that. So the 6 planetary 241 internals on their Box of Rocks custom external casing. The 205, as I mentioned, is twin sticked, but other than that, it doesn't have anything special about it. The front end, as we move forward, is a 79 Dana 60 F350 unit. I run a Reed outers, R-Tech high steer, PSC steering, CTM U-joints on it, Detroit in the pumpkin, and 513 gears. Front suspension is double triangulated, and I run King coilovers, 14-inch travel, all four corners, with 4-inch carbon bump stops. Originally, I built this rig with ORIs, and I switched to coilovers, more so just because I found that I had an old set of ORIs. They were a little bit troublesome keeping them in tune. I think that's more just my units than ORI, but when I travel, it's 7-10 hours, I just couldn't get there and deal with the shock problem that I couldn't easily solve. Coilovers eliminated that, makes it so I can get where I'm going, and unless I tear one in half, they're gonna work. For tire selection, I run a 43-inch sticky TSL. I do run drive slugs. I don't run unlockables. For the rear, it is a 14-bolt chromoly with a shave kit and 513s, of course, and I run a spool. Brakes on the front is the stock Ford dual piston calipers, and on the rear, a 3/4 ton Chevy. Double triangulated suspension on the rear as well. 15-gallon. It's a 15-gallon moto built tank, and not much else really to say about it. It's, today just a standard buggy. I do have, let's see, from belly height, I'm a 24-inch belly. The wheelbase is 120. My roof height is at 79. So basic configuration, length and whatnot is the same size as your standard Jeep. The wheelbase might be a little bit longer. Belly's probably a little bit taller, but a Jeep, if you put it side by side, it's about the same size as a standard Jeep. JK will come in actually a little bit longer than this will. I do have 90-degree front and rear departure angles, so it can get into spots it shouldn't be, and it does pretty well. Real stable rig. Doesn't always feel like it, but it takes quite a bit to get it to lay over. Goes uphill, downhill really well. I don't really have any concerns about one or the other. So from a balance point, it came out well. I do have a few things that I need to fix that I'm going to get to in the future. I'd like to get rid of the doubler and go just to a straight 3-to-1 Atlas or something like that. The buggy seems to stay in that gearing most of the time, and I don't see that I'm going to be doing a lot of West Coast wheeling with it. Other things, may notice it's called the ham and cheese sandwich. That just has to do with an incident that I had with a ham and cheese sandwich out in Harlan. A good friend of mine stepped up and gave me the Heimlich, and everything turned out well. But the group named me at that point, and it stuck. Don't know what else I can really say about the rig. Everything on it though is something that I've built. I put my hand to, unless I couldn't manufacture it myself, I built it. So that does mean that if it breaks, I can fix it. I know where everything's at on it. I've turned every nut, every bolt. All right, well, you know, that's my rig. A little walk around on that. But as for what makes me the pick that is going to be the right one for this, I don't know that I have anything that I can say is better than anybody else. Lots of qualified rigs out there, better than this one. This one's solid, but there's some people that have put some real money and real talent into building a rig. As for driving, yeah, I got 20 years, but you know, it's 20 years of driving from Florida to a park. That's not 20 years of a guy that's traveled the United States. So certainly there's better drivers out there.